the caravan, the people, the convoy leaving. And I had my German Luger still with me, but they weren't supposed to fire it on. And they were so far away for a pistol anyway. Mm-hmm. So in a few minutes, I heard a round come over us. It landed up the hillside, about 100 yards away, I guess, and blew up, and then, wow, they're trying to target in on us, on the convoy. And I figured, well, you can't do anything. I still had my helmet on, and I just pulled the helmet down a little bit closer over my head as they just
Cross
see what
your
happens.
fingers.
Yeah.
Lean towards the shooting.
Yeah. And so the next round came in, it was closer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when this Colonel, gosh, I forget his name anyway. He had a flanking guard. They were coming along the side of the convoy, quite a ways away, but they were clearing anything that, like these guys with the mortars. It just so happened they didn't get that third round off because our flanking guard run them off or shot them or something.
Because they had a machine gun like on their truck, or what?
No, they
have?
were on foot.
Oh, I see.
Our flanking guard was on foot,
Uh-huh.
and they're the ones that were kind of keeping the enemy away from the actual convoy.
Mm-hmm. So they got off two mortars.
They got 2 rounds. They got 2 rounds in. There were 60 millimeter mortars, so they were smaller. 120 millimeter. That's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a bomb.
Oh, okay.
But the smaller 60 millimeter is less explosive.
Mm-hmm. Like, would it have to make a direct hit on
Yeah.
y'all, or
Yeah.
at least be really, really
Pretty
close?
close. Mhm.
Uh-huh. Like within 20 yards or something.
Yeah, that would still get you.
Uh-huh.
Shrapnel and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But I forget what day it was. But then daytime we got protection from the air, from the Corsairs and Navy and Marine pilots, and that's what Eddie was a plane captain on, but doing straight aircraft carrier. And so he was a plane captain. In other words, they revved up the plane and got it ready for the pilot and made sure everything was all right. So he never really got on land until he came and saw me at the hospital, which was a surprise. Said, how'd you find me? That's after they had already taken a bullet out of my foot, and they had given me a spinal for the surgery. And man, I was having terrible pains, headaches, because you're supposed to lay down perfectly flat and not move around to try to avoid that headache from the injection of the spinal cord. And I was having a real painful headache. And I wake up there, there's Eddie, my brother. God, how'd you find me here?
How did he find you?
His ship came in for repairs,
Uh-huh.
and Yokosuka Naval Hospital is right there by the naval base.
Mm-hmm.
So he was able to come and find me. He knew I was in the hospital, and Yokosuka Naval Hospital was the only one around. So he comes in and says, hey, he says, you look pretty good. He says, how about us go on Liberty, take this, we go up to Tokyo. I said, no, I said, man, I'm really painting. I had a lot of pain. And I was on crutches. He said, oh, he says, well, if you have any problem, I'll bring you back. We'll come back. So he said, I'll get permission for us to go. And he did. He got the officer of the day to give us a pass to leave and, leave the hospital. And we went up to Tokyo. And he was having a great time. And I had this terrible headache. And I said, after we were there about 6 or 8 hours, I guess. I said, hey, Dad, Eddie, I'm really bad off. You better get me back. Okay. So we got on the train and came back to
Wow.
Yokosuka.
So, on the Jeep, I mean, it's not interstate highways, on the Jeep, when you were traveling back to get, the care, did you feel every bump and?
There's a great big 6x.
Oh, the one, you mean after,
After you got hit and you were traveling
Yeah,
to,
that
Oh,
5
yeah.
days.
Yeah, it was
you were
all-
on a 6x.
well, the danger there was the road was frozen so bad that we were losing equipment over the side of the hill. It'd slide off.
And trucks, right?
Yeah,
Would
trucks.
fall
Yeah,
off
so
the
you'd
side
have
of
to
the
go
hill.
super slow to not slide.
Yeah. So it was only wide enough for one big 6x. So there, you know, it wasn't a two-way road. And we were pulling a air reconnaissance Jeep. It had the radio and everything in the Jeep. The engine had malfunctioned or wasn't running. But the radio was important to keep with the air cover. And so we had it hooked up. Of course, I said we, but the driver and him was towing the Jeep with a chain, and they had looped the chain around the front bumper on one side and then through the eye on that 6x. They have a big kind of an eye that you can put a chain through
Okay.
as part of the truck to pull things. And then they run it through there and then put the other end on the other side of the bumper of the Jeep. And coming down, of course, it was nighttime, dark. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face. We had to have a guy walking at the front of our truck to keep us away from the edge of the hill of the road. And we would stop, and that Jeep would creep up. The two guys were still in it.
Mm-hmm.
They were just riding along in the Jeep. And every time we stopped, it would kind of creep up, and stop. And we would take off, it would jerk, and we'd take off. Well, one time we did that and didn't know that the chain had fallen off of the one side of the bumper. And we took off, it threw the Jeep over the side,
Oh, jeez.
over the side of the hill. It was about, I remember seeing that because I looked down, there were sparks flying from that Jeep, hitting the rocks because all that was real rocky. And it went down about 500 feet and got lodged in some rocks. And the guys were still in it. And
It never flipped or anything?
well, it was banging around, jumping. And imagine they were hanging on as it was going down, but they were still in the Jeep. One of them had to be pulled out from under it, but it wasn't, it was all right.
Should he lived, the
Yeah.
two guys?
Yeah, both of them did.
And you had to go down, or people had to go down 500 feet to go get them and carry them
Just to get them back out.
And the Jeep? You
Oh, the
couldn't
Jeep,
pull
yeah, he
Jeep
lost
out?
it, yeah. No, you just leave it. There's no way that you could get that thing out.
And then y'all lost radio after that?
Well, there's
that
everybody, they're different, they had a number of radios. That wasn't the only one, but that was the one that was coming with us. But they had radio contact with other,
That was part of the caravan?
yeah, yeah. So that convoy was what? I forget how many miles long it was. 8 or 10 miles long.
Oh, okay.
No,
That's a lot of
not that
trucks.
far. Probably 5 or 6 miles, something like
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot.
So-
And they were all like bringing wounded people back from the kind of the front line back to that base? a
that.
little
Well,
south?
the ones who could walk, of course, they walked, but the ones who were wounded were all on tanks and other vehicles.
So people walking alongside 6x and alongside Jeeps?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. If you could walk, even if you're wounded, if you were ambulatory,
Yeah.
you walked.
if you got shot in the arm, you could
Yeah,
still
you
walk.
could still walk. Yeah.
For 5
yeah.
days? They walked
Yeah.
for 5 days?
Well, they had warm-up stations along the road. There were some little houses, Korean houses, that we were using as warm-up areas. And if you stopped the convoy for a long time, they took you inside and you could warm up on a little while for a while.
And were Korean people still living in those houses at the
No,
time,
they'd
or-
already left.
Yeah.
They all left. A lot of them went down with the convoy
Hmm.
to the coast so it could get out of North Korea. So a lot of North Koreans who ended up in the South became patriots down there.
Yeah. It's amazing you remember all those details 75 years later.
Oh yeah, I remember real well because at an aid station we were waiting to be flown out of in Hagaru, they had a I don't know how many a battery would be of artillery. And 155s are big millimeter cannons you go artillery. They were lined up near the aid station I was in, waiting to be evacuated, and they'd send a volley of 155 rounds into the enemy, and man, it was loud. Those things are just tremendous. Yeah.
Like the size, like the artillery, like the size of a football.
Well, 155 millimeters. What is that?
Okay. So yeah, 15 centimeters.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty good size. Yeah.
And those aren't explosive, right? They just hit. And,
Oh yeah, they're explosive.
Oh, they are explosive. Okay.
Yeah. They have heavy munitions, and they have phosphorus
Okay.
and different types of shells in there. But before I got hit, they were laying some artillery ahead of us, and you could hear that shell coming over your head, and they do a flip, 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 flip sound coming over your head, and it hit, up on the enemy side.
Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of clear
Yeah,
path
to
for
help
y'all.
you attack that hill.
Okay.
But remember the hill that we was on, it was 1085. They had numbers for the different hills we were attacking. So on the maps they had them as the elevation of the hill that we got the number, I guess. But before I got hit, I could look over here. There was this hill made a kind of a half moon, the top of the edge. I could look over there and see guys, Marines, below the crest, and the Chinese were lobbing grenades down on them down below. And I could see that. And then we kept going up that hill. We never get to the top though.
And the name of the part of the reservoir where you got shot started with a P. What was it called?
You damn neat.
Oh yeah, Udemy.
Yeah.
And then where you all were going to was.
Well, we were on Thanksgiving, the 27th. We were on the east side of the reservoir. And the Marines, that 7th Marine Regiment, was getting hit real hard in Udemy. So that night is when we left. The 27th, the night of the 27th, we left a big convoy. The whole 5th Marines moved over to Udemy to help the 7th Marines.
And Udemy was on the west side of the reservoir.
Yeah. And they were getting hit pretty bad. And John Blazer was with the 7th Marines. He saw a lot of combat. He was a BAR man too. He usually find a smaller person to carry a BAR because they are the most at risk of getting hit.
Oh, so smaller target, smaller
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. Huh. You could tell the BAR man because he always had their shoulder was lower than the other one. It was
From carrying
good to
it.
carry the 20-pound weapon on your shoulder. Huh. But it was amazing how I was already hit and I was sitting in a convoy, or sitting in that 6x waiting to get put into the convoy. It was early morning, And after that big firefight and all that. And this person come walking by, covered with a hoodie and, you know, just a parka all the way down to your ankles, almost to your knees. No way I could see the person in it. But for some reason or other, he was carrying a BAR. And I looked over there and I said, Johnny. He turned around. Hey, Big Dad, he said, I heard you got hit. And he, I mean, how could it possibly have known that he was who he was?
Yeah. Just had a feeling.
Yeah. And I said, hey, John, I said, get you one of these tags on your toes or on your body somewhere and get on this 6x with me. He said, no, I got to go find my outfit and take off. He said, see you back in SA. He walks off.
And that was Johnny.
John Baeza.
That was at
okay.
Mom's funeral.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember talking about.
Yeah, he was a high school friend,
Mm-hmm.
a close friend. He still is, of course.
Yeah.
But the next time I saw him was in Japan when I was getting ready to be sent back to Korea after rehabilitation. Because you had to have 2 Purple Hearts to be sent back to the States. And it said, well, you need 1 more. Or if you're the only surviving brother, you know, we can send you back. I said, no, I got 2 brothers yet.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still eligible to go back to Korea.
But then they changed their mind.
Well, then John Blazer came, he was on the way home because he had a hardship. Well, he was the son of a family, older brother that he was kind of responsible for his dependents.
Oh, okay.
So they were able to qualify him that he was ready to go back.
Mm-hmm.
So he came there in the aid station, or there at the Camp Atsu to rehabilitate him. And we went on leave. He bought a bunch of Chinese stuff, or Japanese stuff, and then he came home.
Mm-hmm.
But
Did he get wounded?
no, he got frostbite, but never got wounded. So he got all kinds of commendations and that stuff like that too. So he's really good. Huh. But that's,
There was never a draft for Korea, right? It was people enlisted.
yeah, it was.
Oh, there was a draft for Korea.
That's why Lackland Air Force Base, they had to build tents for all the volunteers. Air Force was the safest place to be. And they were all volunteering to join the Air Force.
Oh, I see. So you want to get drafted?
So you wouldn't get
to the
drafted.
Army on the front lines, or
Yeah,
But you were already in the reserves with the Marines, so you got called up right
yeah,
away.
we were already gone. Yeah, from the time the war broke out, we were gone. It was the 26th of June. We left August the 3rd or 4th, something like that. So a month later. That was funny. As we were leaving, Southern Pacific was a railroad station. There were, on the east side of town, what is it? There was a railroad station there.
Sunset Station.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and that was where we flew. We were shipped out, and that Southern Pacific went down south by Breckenridge High School and went out to the west side of town.
Mm-hmm.
And we were all, waving to people coming as we were leaving. And John Blazer's father, he saw them, and I saw him too, waving at us.
And so that was on the way.
On the
like,
way to California,
Oh, okay, so it would go
Yeah.
all the way from San Antonio to Southern California
Yeah.
by train.
to Pendleton.
Pendleton.
Yeah,
And Uncle Alvin was there, and his parents. And Vera?
yeah,
Is
that was after we were at Pendleton,
Um,
before we went to Korea.
Oh, they went all the way out to Camp Pendleton to
Yeah.
see Ella?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. But that was. That was funny. And a picture of Richie up there with a machine gun. That was aboard the carrier or the ship that he was being transported to Korea. That was the last time we ever heard of him. Now, how you got that picture to Mom? Because he was aboard the ship. And I think the photographers were taking pictures of people on the ship, and he had that one taken. And you can see on his right hand, he's got the Tech High School ring on. Yeah, he's the only one that ever got a graduation ring.
Hmm.
Huh.
Did they get the ring? Did someone have it after he
Chinese
passed?
got it somewhere,
Oh, yeah.
or North Korean got it. Yeah. And of course, I got his dog tag. You need to know that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that.
You know, I got the dog tag that he was wearing when he got killed.
Because he was missing for a long time, right?
Yeah, he was missing. Yeah, that's it there. He's got a little dent on it, shrapnel that from, I guess when he got killed. That other one is mine because, and it's not the proper tag. Should have been like Richie's. But they lost my tags and it gave me an Army-looking tag.
Mm.
So this is a Marine Corps one, more circular than long.
Yeah, well, it was just like that. And the other one was like the Army got. Yeah, the Army got all those dog tags like that. But they had to make me one. They didn't have the original.
So when you were at Camp Pendleton, they gave you the Army tag?
They gave me that when I was in. I think I was getting. Oh, when I was getting ready to go back to Korea,
Oh.
had to give me another dog tag. But, yeah, they didn't find his body until. I don't know how the dog tag was saved, but he was found. Of course, he and 10 other guys died together in an ambush. They were ambushed
By,
by the North Koreans.
Because he was a gunner, right?
Yeah, he was machine gun squad leader. But there were other gun teams, and one other gun team was overrun too. And so the 10 guys that died, one was from San Antonio. I think his name is buried. He was buried here at Fort Sam Houston. And I haven't seen the tombstone in a long time. I moved him because he was from South Texas, I think.
And was he like around the Chosin Reservoir, or where was
My
he?
brother?
Mm-hmm.
No, he got killed just 2 weeks after he got there.
Oh, okay, so well before. it
Yeah.
went that far north.
Yeah, that was in August when he got killed.
Okay.
Yeah. But then I got in his same company.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to get in the company with he was, so people knew me as his brother.
Richie's brother.
Yeah,
What was his twin's name?
Eddie,
Eddie.
Edward.
That's Rex and his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I say, he was aboard the carrier, so he was pretty safe.
Eddie was.
Yeah. And he said, well, I was thinking about transferring to the infantry. I said, you're crazy. Stay there.
So y'all just got put wherever they wanted to put y'all?
Yeah, more or less, yeah. You know, he was assigned, went straight out of boot camp to Marine Air Wing there at what is it, El Toro Marine Base, just south of LA, I think it is.
Because he was already in Because he's
Yeah,
a few years
they were
older
in
than you.
since 48.
Mm.
They joined in 48 out of high school.
You joined in 50?
Yeah. Well, actually 49 when I was in high school in reserves. And then that's when our whole company got activated. John Baez, Alvin, and Moses Shag, and a number of others. So we were the first reserve outfit to be activated. So most of the 7th Marine Regiment was all made up of reservists
Like high school kids.
from high school and all that.
Straight out of high school.
Yeah.
And I just happened to go to the 5th Marines because my brother was there. I gotta go to the bathroom.